Well, good afternoon. It's Monday here in the city of Dallas. I'm actually in the suburbs, of course, of Dallas. And so um, it's been a while. So I thought I would check in this afternoon and just talk about some things that are kind of been roaming through my head. I'll put it that way. And one of the things is lately there's just been this focus for me about. Um, the focus of you. And when I say that, I've experienced quite a few things over the last year or so, and all of us have, but specifically just thinking about myself and some of the things that have occurred and the process of going through those things, the process of getting through those things, um, the process of coming through, getting through, coming through, going through, all different. So I won't even get into all of that. But it's just that where you are, how you function, what you do, your thought process, all of that weighs in on how you manage your life and how you do the things that um, come your way, how you handle the things that come your way, how you play the hand that life deals you, you know. And so on this platform, of course, I've been talking about the you strategy, and that came to me as a result of this same perspective, this whole you focus. And I've gone through some challenges, developmental challenges, whereas I've been challenging myself, developing skills, things of that nature, continuing to evolve and to grow and to learn. And one of the things that I've discovered in going through that process, particularly this year, is I've had to establish strategies that work best for me, not just based on the content and the information received, but how I then internalize it, conceptualize it, and then regurgitate that because how I share it, how I distribute it is going to be different based on the audience, based on what it is that I do, based on my personality, based on the things that work for me. And so one of the things that has really been just at the top of my thought process is, for us as individuals and what I've learned as the years have rolled on and as I get older, a certain level of maturation, I feel needs to be in place so that we can first determine how we function in a particular environment. And when I say that, I'm talking about when you have challenges, when you learn information, when you partake of conferences and summits and courses and classes and all of the different things, there's a huge market now for knowledgepreneur, for which I'm a part of that because that's a part of what I do. I consult, I coach, and a lot of that lends to knowledge based information and um, helping people from a knowledge perspective. And because each of us learn different ways, we receive information in different ways, how you how you then distribute what you take in largely depends on how you function as an individual. And I think oftentimes we don't take the opportunity to analyze how a thing works best for us. How is it that we best receive information? How is it that we best articulate information to others? And especially when it comes to a business perspective. And particularly I found in the area of coaching, there's so many types of coaches and coaching. And it's real important to make sure that you have a handle on how you best function. Because when you determine who you are and you determine the clarity about you, how you best function, how you best work, how you best operate, flow, communicate. It helps you to be a better version of yourself, meaning you're able to then give your clients, your customers, the people in your life a better version of you. And the better you understand you, and not only that, not just better understanding you, but being open for you to evolve and to grow. Um, it makes you a better person. I know for myself this year alone, there have been some experiences that have totally just blown me away. And it was because, of course, I became intentional about number one, community. I became intentional about networking. I became intentional about really doing the things that were important to me and the things that I felt gave me the most energy, brought me the most joy, gave me the most peace. And as a result of that, I see something different as it relates to the vision for myself. And that's the key. And that is getting to a place. I do what is called pen to paper, and it's about vision and purpose. And so this year, the Vision Summit is going to be in Dallas, Texas. But I focus in pen to paper. I focus on the you in whatever it is that you're doing. If you're writing a book, if you're starting a business, if you're launching a project, if you are starting an organization or you're creating something, um, I start with the you piece of it and the vision you have for you, because this is what's so important. If you're not able to see you doing certain things, you won't ever do it because you can't see you doing it. If you don't ever envision yourself. And so this year it's like, what you see is what you get. And so that's going to be a large part of what um, I impart, and that is how you see you. Because how you see you in every facet, in every way, largely depends, not largely, but depends on how you see your progress, how you see your accomplishments, how you see yourself reaching your goals. Because if you can't see it, you can't see it. And everybody's vision is going to be different. And it's been said in different ways, in different environments, on different stages, that the vision you have for you is only for you. Nobody else can carry it out. Nobody else can see it the way you can see it. Nobody else can do it the way you can do it. The other piece of that is learning what's going to be the best strategy for you to implement and execute that vision, because everybody's strategy is unique to them. So that's why the you strategy has been so dear to my heart and so impactful for me. And I feel as other people partake of it and experience it, they will definitely begin to, just be self aware of the things that really work well for them and learn some things about you. Learn how you function. And when you take the time to really analyze that and really, determine, okay, what are the things that I need to function at my highest level of energy? What are the things that help me to function at my highest level and be the most productive? Because whatever you're doing in life, there used to be a time, and when I first started doing pen to paper as an extension of my consulting business and what I did, because I wanted to be able to help more people analyze and become self-aware of their vision and their purpose and who they were and their potential and the things they had the ability to do, the things that were on the inside of them, and how to cultivate those things and really bring those things to fruition. And not all of it necessarily means having a business. You may not want to be a business owner, but for those of you who are in that position, it really helps to take that deep dive. And even if that means you just want to write a book, you want to begin to blog, or you want to begin to vlog, do videos, or whatever the case may be, tapping into what that is was a vital part of pen to paper as it started, getting that vision on paper, writing it down, and allowing not only the things in your head to be fruitful and really come alive, but also allowing the things in your spirit to really thrive. And allow yourself to really see those things and connect with them. And so as a result, that's why I started, pen to paper, so that as an individual, you can take the opportunity to really tap into your vision and what it is that's on the inside of you and extract that potential. And so the use strategy has been an extension of that thought process. And just going through the whole last 2 years and experiencing some things of, um, being isolated and, you know, disconnected, all of those things that were ultimately initially kind of painted as um, negative things. But when you look at it in totality, it was an opportunity for you to reconnect with you and to really find out who you are. What are the things that are important to you? Based on where you were at that time. And I know for me, based on where I was at that time and where I am now, totally different. I have a different perspective. I see things differently. I see me differently. I want something different because it really made me self-aware. And not only that, but it really made me start to self-evaluate and take self-inventory, right? Because until you really do that, you really can't be your best you to other people or for other people and really be able to share the things that you've been given, whatever your God-given abilities and talents and gifts are, to really be manifested in the earth the way they need to be. And I think there is so much fulfillment that comes when you tap in to who you are and you really become comfortable with that person. You love that person. You know the potential that person has. You want to draw it out. You tap into the thing that brings you joy every day. And so, since being in that place, there has been such a liberation, such a freedom for me. Every day I get a chance to do the thing that I enjoy doing. And I remember praying about this moment. I remember, talking to God about, having this opportunity. And it's almost the way it happened and the way it evolved. I didn't realize I was just, merging into it that way until one day there was a statement made to me, and I was like, wow, I'm already there. And so does that mean that I'm at the peak and I'm making all the money I want to make and I'm doing everything in the world that I want to do? Not necessarily. There's some things that I still desire and there's some levels of accomplishment that I still desire to get to, but in essence I am where I'm supposed to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And it helps me to be a better version of myself for others, for the people I serve, for my clients, for my family. Um, and I can really enjoy life in a way that I've never enjoyed it before. I can see myself in a way that I've never seen myself before. I can experience relationships and friendships and community in a way that I've never done before. And so much of it I am learning is that when you are good with you, it don't matter what other people do, good, bad, and indifferent, because they're them. They're going to do the things that are important for them and the things that are required of them. But when you are focus so much on the opinions of others, you don't live the life that God has given to you. You don't show up for you when you're worried about the opinions of other people, or you make decisions based on the opinions of other people. Uh, is it wonderful to get feedback and hear thoughts from other people? Absolutely, but you gotta let that a level of maturation sink in so that when you make a decision, you're making a decision based on your beliefs, your convictions, your confidence, your competence, right? All of those things that make up who you are. And when you are confident about these pieces in these areas, the people that you're to impact are confident about who you are in sharing those things. And it becomes a greater impact based on the purpose that you have been, placed on this earth for and the things you've been placed on this earth to do. And so I just wanted to share um, in that regard because it's been on my heart and some of the things, like I said, that you know, at some point in time in life, I probably never thought that I would do certain things, go certain places, have certain experiences, but it's all about tapping into that place. The sky's the limit. And so the only reason why you can't do a thing is because you believe you can't do it or you think you can't do it. But if you think you can do it, you can see yourself doing it and you can position yourself in a way, you can do it. And it's all about taking the time to put pen to paper and really take the opportunity to evaluate that. I'm going to share this piece, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about some other areas of this conversation. But back in 2016, this was the year before I started Pen to Paper. Started Pen to Paper in 2017, and I was in this space where I was doing fairly well, building my business on a part-time basis. I was comfortable with that because I was still in corporate, and I began to see people really becoming intrigued and really concerned about the purpose and the potential as it related to um, my consulting and people I was helping, clients that I was working with. Largely, I worked with churches when I first began my consulting business. And as a result of that, as I was a part of those aggregations and congregations, individuals out of those particular groups began to reach out and solicit help or wanted to become a client and things of that nature. And so as I began to think about that, I was like, wow, what do I do to kind of help more people on a larger scale? And so, of course, so many things that are now available courses, online courses, and group coaching, all those things were not really a thing at that time. And so, of course, I'm now moving into those areas. But at that time, that wasn't the case. And so I took a sabbatical and I went to a city I hadn't gone to before and just took a few days. And I began to journal and just write out some of the things that I really was seeing, some of the things I thought about, some of the things that people were reaching out about, sharing about. And I began to write those things out and what my heart was about it. And as I was doing that, I remember clearly sitting in the hotel room. It was a Saturday morning before I got ready to just got kind of go out and explore the city and just take in some stuff, experience some things, be exposed to some things. And it came to me so clearly, package your passion. And so at that time, I was like, God, what does that mean? Because it's like when you get a revelation of something, you want the whole nine. You want the first, the middle, the end. You want the whole piece. You want to know what to do from beginning to end. And oftentimes, most times, God doesn't work that way. He'll give you revelation and then there's manifestation for that. But the thing in the middle, you have to work yourself. And so I had to figure that out. And so, man, it was something I was praying and I was, seeking God about it, package your passion, package your passion. And I kept writing the things that were coming to me and the things that were really just kind of standing out in my mind. And it came to me after I got back home, pen to paper. And the revelation came because I had penned all of these things as it related to the things that have been said, the things that have been shared. And I penned those things in an effort to get clarity because I wanted to really get all of those thoughts out. And so as a result of that, pen to paper focused on potential and purpose and vision and developing strategies for those various things because having a vision, having purpose, and having potential is one thing, but extracting it and then getting a plan of action or a strategy in place so that you can execute it and implement it and execute it is a totally different thing. And so I began with small groups doing pen to paper workshops. And when I did the first one, I was so afraid. I was so afraid because I was like, man, who's gonna show up to do nobody's doing anything like this. I've never heard of it. And so as a result, I stepped out on faith, believed in it. I think the first workshop when I initially got ready that day for the workshop to happen, I had about 4 or 5 people that had actually registered online. And during those days, I was allowing registration at the door and that kind of thing. However, by the time I got to the venue that evening, it was sold out, and actually we had to add more seating, and so that was the catapult because stepping out on faith was one thing, but seeing it manifest was something totally different, and so from that day to this, I've trusted God for pen to paper, and so it's been such, an instrumental, piece in a lot of people's lives. I've seen people not only have I helped people, clients to become authors and write, self-published books, start businesses, put plans together for various things and projects. But I've seen people go on to do those things on their own, utilizing the tools and the skills and the information that's been shared, not only by myself in pen to paper workshops and conferences and summits, but also by those who attended. Because when we come together, we're the sum total of all of our gifts and talents and abilities. And so that's synergy. And so that synergy that shows up every time that there's a conference, every time there's a workshop, every time there's a summit, that synergy that shows up is a conglomerate of the various gifts and talents and purposes and plans that God has for all of our lives. And so it's always an amazing time, an amazing opportunity. And so this is one of those things, it's not just for business owners, it's not just for aspiring entrepreneurs, but it's for anybody who wants to take their life to a different level, who wants to take that opportunity to become self-aware, to self-evaluate, take self-inventory, and anybody who has a vision for themselves. And that may be you have a vision for, doing a bucket list, or you have a vision for traveling internationally, whatever the case may be, and you had a vision and you saw yourself doing some things, but you don't know how to really put a plan in place, get a plan of action on paper and live it out. I want to see you live and not just exist. And so just wanted to share that today. And so I hope that you will, as you listen to this and as you share it with others, that you will definitely think about it. Take some self inventory, self awareness. And of course, Pen to Paper is happening this year in Dallas, Texas. So, in the event that's something that would intrigue you, or you know someone that it would definitely benefit, I'm telling you, it's always a blessing. It's always a blessing. And there's so much impact. And we have an amazing time. You can definitely go to my website, bridgetmoody.com/events, and you can read all about it, check it out, and get registered there or share it with somebody else. All right. Well, this has been an awesome opportunity today to just share with you and just talk about some practical things. And of course, we'll continue on this path and share some of these things that I think that are, especially, here's the other thing. There's a whole nother conversation I have for women over 50 because we have different thought processes based on um, how we were reared, where we came from, what our background is, what we do at 50 and over. So I want to talk to you about that as well. We'll do that next time. Listen, share this with somebody. If it was a blessing to you, if anything about it pricked your heart, prick your mind, your attention, got your attention, intrigued you in any way, definitely share it with somebody. And listen, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, will you please subscribe? We'll be having more conversations like this and they'll be short in nature, just like this. All right. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.